Ladies and gentlemen, the EVE economy is ever changing, and if you want the best updates on it, well, you came to the right place. Pyerite has been updated. We're going to talk about what it means for you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Loru here, digital advertiser, content creator, and EVE enjoyer. And I'm not crying out of joy because of the Pyerite. My allergies are attacking me. Pray for you, boy. And this is the patch notes as of last week. Why did they drop something when I was streaming a different game? I will never know. But Pyerite has been changed. Yes, more Dunium deposits are now able to rarely appear in low-sec, non-faction warfare systems instead of just small Mordunium. Okay, so this is a big deal because now you're going to have rarer, more lottery feels to Mordunium. This is going to give you a ton of Pyerite. It's going to make these low-sec systems more sought after. So period, full stop. What this means is two things. There's going to be more prospects and endurance. We're going to give you low-sec fits for both by the end of this video that you can use to go get these fits. But hear me. You go into low-sec trying to mine some rocks. Get ready for the hunters. They are out, ladies and gentlemen. The moment that the sorry, I didn't mean for that to be so funny. The moment that the low-sec hunters saw this post, they said, "Oh, fresh meat's back on the menu, boys." They saw this and saw that hunting season was active. Okay, so get ready to have and see our fits to be able to combat some of those gankers, and we're gonna totally talk about it. Okay, so additionally, small Mordunium deposits now appear rarely in border systems around low-sec. Another big deal, okay? That border high-sec systems are increasingly becoming something that I recommend that you set up little operations bases at, and I think this is a good idea for a guide, how to set up border and indeed other like mining outposts that you can jump a clone to and have a setup there. We're going to talk about it. Sub for that guide. We're going to be doing that. Okay. So sites that were already spawned before downtime may remain in their incorrect locations until they are mined out. So this is just a like, hey, it's, you know, they'll persist. And then once they're gone, they're gone. That's not a very big deal. Let's read this. The Mordunium yearns to be mined. I can't do it, dude. I did not expect memes in my patch notes. The Mordunium yearns to be mined. It's CCB Games. Well done on the memes. I just got to give credit where credit is due. That's super funny. I love that. I love that. Okay. In yesterday's update, Mordunium deposits and small Mordunium spawn locations were flipped. The additional larger sites will now appear spawning in low-sec, smaller sites in high-sec. I think this is a W because it means people are going to go venture into more dangerous areas of space. This is a W. Some people might not like it because it looks like they took the medium out of high-sec and put it into low-sec. I think that's fine because you can have the more risk areas of space should be where there's more resources. That's the ethos of this game. That's how it goes. So, Pyerite balance. Scordite. The amount of reprocessing has been improved by approximately 10%. Ayo, big deal. That's a thick door. That's a large percentage. Let's go check this. Pyerite processing from Mordunium has improved by approximately 10%. Huge. And again, they're going to now appear in faction warfare systems. We already said this as an uncommon site. And they're now going to appear in border systems in high-sec security space rarely. So this is a rare thing. So you got to find these and see where they are and make spots there. In a continuing effort to curb the current price and supply trend of Pyerite, we're making a few small tweaks, and they are kind of small, to the ecosystem. We're happy with the previous change to the yield of Scordite and Mordunium, and they were helpful without creating destabilization. They're going to keep nudging it a little further. This is a big deal because, and you can just look at the graph here if you would like. We're going to talk about what you can do with this right now. Okay, so this is a big deal because we were talking recently in our Dune Awakening patch notes how the Dune Awakening devs, they need, in my opinion, to like learn from the EVE Online devs because they've overcorrected. They've made stuff like 1/10 the price. The EVE Online devs are about like, you know what? We'd like the thing to be here. Let's put it like here. Let's go a little bit here. Let's go a little bit here. Let's like inch it. We're just going to keep going this way, right? The Dune Awakening devs were like, all right, the value's currently here. What if we put it all the way over here? Yeah, it's just not good, in my opinion. It's an overcorrection. So the EVE devs are really good about kind of inching their way forward and getting those values closer and closer. So we will keep on checking this out. What can you do with this change? Well, the first thing to understand is that Pyerite is about to be more prevalent in the market, not necessarily more valuable. I can never spell this, chat. My I actually can never spell this freaking thing because my dyslexia keeps putting the E and the Y in different spots. Let's see where this is going. So you've seen Pyerite this past year just... Okay, it's daggum stocks with red rocks. It's going to the moon, baby. You've seen the price recently flatline. Okay, look at this. Instead of going up, it's now kind of going straight. What I think you're going to have happen is the price over time is going to go down over time. In the interim, the price is still at a bit of a peak. So if you want to just mine Pyerite, if you're a newer player and you want to make a bunch of money, mine things that have Pyerite in them since they're more available and sell it. Because notice, chat, notice, it's not just about the price. You also want to look here and see the volume that is done. And these blue bars are the amount of Pyerite sold every single day. And it hasn't really increased. Okay, we're still based like here's okay, peaks. You know, it's kind of, sure, maybe it's gone up a little bit, but still not that big of a factor in my opinion. You're going to hear more about this from Oz as well. This is something I would do. I would go out into low sec and those border systems and I would go mine this Pyerite. How would I mine it? Well, you got two possible ships you can really do it in. Look, the Venture is there. This fit will be in the description for you, but it's really not, you know, this is nothing new. Ladies and gentlemen, you can even do a new bro mining ISK. This is a less than 1 million ISK venture. This fit will be in the description for you. We feature this a ton of times. This even features a salvager. As if you're new, you're an alpha, and if there's wrecks on grid, you can't afford to leave money on grid because you don't have a lot of money. This is literally less than 1 million ISK. No real explainers here. Just get this if you're new and call it a day. You can fly, and I recommend you fly, the Prospect, okay? This is our danger yield miner. Now this has Tech 2 mining ready to go for Pochfin. You can set up the modulated deep core miners with whatever you would like, or if you would like, because this is just Pyerite, and let's say you don't want to spend this much ISK because it's about 40 million ISK, you can just use minor Tech 2s. I believe they still fit in here. Let's see about these. Let's just use these minor Tech 2s. Does it fit with all of our CPU and power? It totally does. So this is my danger miner. I'll put this fit in the description for you with, and just use minor Tech 2s if you would like. The Prospect is one of my favorite ships to go into dangerous areas of space for one reason and one reason only. The Covert Ops Cloak. With one click, what you do with this. Let's say you're mining a rock. Okay, this is a rock, and here's your, arch out my allergies, and here's your little bitty Prospect, and you're orbiting this rock. You're gonna orbit the rock at least like 5K away from the rock. Because the moment a big bad T3 cruiser comes in and is gonna try to lock you up, since you're 5K from it, you just have to press the cloak and you're gone. You see him, you tap cloak, and you leave. Because a Covert Ops Cloak, any cloak, can be activated within 2K of any Celestial. As long as you're away from 2K of this, you can get there and you can have a good time with it and you can get away from these things. And just in case, you can overheat your afterburner to go 1500 away. And in case they lock you, you can use your Warp Core Stab. Now look, you are never safe in Eve. So it's entirely likely that you still get popped because there's just as much ways to kill you as there is to find you. Look, you're gonna be able to get away most of the time. But if you go in the dangerous areas of space, be warned, you're probably gonna die. So only fly what you can afford to lose, okay? The other ship you can use is the Endurance, all right? Now I feature the Prospect first because I believe that it is the ship you wanna do. And I'll even give you a border fit that we use in our border when I go on the border, when I do border ops, okay? This is the one that I use. All right, so first of all, we've got a mining setup in here, and you can swap one of these out for a Warp Core Stab if you would like, but this is specifically for high sec. You're going to get a Mexican restaurant, some jalapenos, some tortillas, some margaritas, okay? You're going to on the border. Please still sub to my channel. Please don't leave. The point is that you're going to go there not taking this into dangerous areas of space. And this single miner plus your mining drone Tech 2s are going to be a little bit more yield, a little bit, than your Prospect. You're sacrificing, thank you for that. You're sacrificing stealth ability for combat ability. If the rats are on grid, you can poke them. And something I like to do with my Endurances is I like to fit a single Core Probe 1 launcher while I'm on grid mining rocks. I'm going to scan down the celestials in the area and see what's around, because maybe there's a data site, some kind of relic site, and I'm going to find it while I'm sitting there killing time anyway. My personal tech with mining drone tech 2s is to also have a drone nav computer, because the longer the drones take to get back to you, the longer they take to get back to the rock, because the drones, if this is the rock, just like we were doing before, and you're an endurance, and you're going around this, your mining drones have to go to you and back to the rock. The faster they get back to the rock, the faster they get back to getting you some ore, and the faster you can fill up your mining hold. So these 2 fits will be in the description for you. Pyerite is something that is a backbone of EVE, and I'm really glad that the devs are continuing to check on the market, to tweak things, to make it easier for us to enjoy the game that we all know and love. So if you want the best EVE guides, make sure you sub right here. And more game news, that's this playlist right here. Check the description, get those fits. Like the video if you would like it, and we'll see ya in the next video. Thanks very, very much.